Hello, curious people, and welcome back. We have another reading from the book of What If to get curious and use some curiosity based learning to learn more about the world and do more as a world. So, today's reading is What if humans had never landed on the moon? For most of human existence, we've been stuck on a big rock speeding through space called Earth. We've been here looking out at the sky. Most nights we can see another rock, the moon, which orbits our rock. What do you think is the most important thing humanity got out of landing on the moon? Some say Tang, Velcro, and pins that ride upside down are the most important things to come out of the space program. However, Tang and Velcro were invented before NASA's mission to the moon. Going to the moon just made them famous. Yet the Apollo program did introduce technologies you probably find useful today. You know that spring you feel in your step when you're wearing your sneakers? Many sneaker insoles are made out of the same material that was first used in the space boots that made that giant leap on the moon. So believe it or not, if you're wearing sneakers, you're kind of wearing space boots right now, right? And your parents may hate cleaning. Heck, you probably hate cleaning too, right? But at least they do it with lightweight, cordless devices. You can thank the Apollo program for helping develop lightweight, cordless tools. Imagine how long the extension cord would have been had the astronauts needed one to plug in the tools they used on the moon. Could you imagine being on the moon and having a cord that you had to plug in on Earth? That'd be insane. So even with the marvelous technologies that came out of the Apollo program, many think the most important thing that came from landing on the moon was the power to create the dreams of tomorrow. Going to the moon propelled us. Space exploration encourages us to push human potential and excites students to become astronauts, scientists, and explorers. Space travel is the beginning of our species colonizing different planets. Can anyone say living options? If we are limited to only one planet, like we are now, all humanity could get wiped out by a large disaster. What if it's kind of dangerous to be a single planet civilization? What if an asteroid hit us? What if a deadly virus started affecting everybody? Or if zombies happened? Humans would be trapped in one place, Earth. But if we look to our success with visiting the moon as our first step toward living on other planets, our species might know a less risky existence. If there were a disaster on one rock, at least the humans on the rock would be safe. Unfortunately, though, our exploration of space has started to slow. Did you know that after we first landed on the moon, July 20th, 1969, scientists believed it would take only another 10 years for a human to land on Mars? And the time since then, we've landed a couple of robots on Mars, but haven't managed to send any humans. In fact, the last time a human set foot on any space rock was the moon in 1972. That's over 40 years ago. Stepping foot on the moon is something only a few humans have ever experienced. But there are many things we all benefit from that came out of getting those feet up there. Why do you think we've never gone back? Why do you think we slowed down our space exploration? What do you think you can do to make sure humans never stop exploring? So to go even a little deeper, we have some information on a really famous scientist. It starts with a quote by Neil deGrasse Tyson, an astrophysicist. "The day you stop cosmic exploration, I fear for the future of the species, because it's that which distinguishes humans from all other animals. That we explore and understand what we're doing while we're at it. and expand our place in the cosmos. And if that stops, I don't want to live in those times. So what Neil's saying here is, out of all the species, all the animals on the planet, we're the only one who looks to explore, to expand, and to go to other places. It makes us unique, but it also makes us who we are. Neil deGrasse Tyson is a world-renowned astrophysicist, known for his many public appearances and playful demeanor. He's afraid that if we don't put our money into space exploration, we'll diminish ourselves as a species. Tyson has written many books, hosted numerous television shows, and served on both presidential and NASA advisory committees. He is the 5th head of the Hayden Planetarium in New York City. Go look that one up. In a lot of his work, he attempts to make space science interesting and exciting. If he can do that, then maybe the next generation of kids growing up will decide to focus some of their energy on going into space. Maybe the next great space adventurer or scientist is you. So, how do we go into space? Well, it starts with curiosity, but at some point, we're going to need a rocket. So when you look in the book of What If, we have even a little diagram of what a rocket looks like in the different parts. You can research this on your own as well. But a little more about rockets and rocket ships in this technical corner. It says, rocket ships and the people who fly them are pretty amazing. We take huge chunks of metal, strap people to them, start a controlled explosion behind them, and launch them into space. We must be bonkers. Rocket development started way back. In fact, take a second and write down, what year do you think rocket development first started? Did anyone write around 400 BC? That's like over 2,000 years ago, plus 400 years, right? When Greeks were playing with steam. So the Greeks started rocket development around 400 BC using steam. Throughout the years, Chinese scientists created arrows with rocket tips. Mongols started building them too. And Germans developed multi-stage rockets, or rockets within rockets. It wasn't until 1898 that a Russian school teacher, Konstantin Solyovsky, started thinking that rockets could take us into space. Sir Isaac Newton formalized 3 laws of motion. The 3rd law says that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So if you push your friend with 3 pounds of force, your friend moves away from you with 3 pounds of force, while at the same time, your muscles exert 3 pounds of force. With rockets, this means that if there is an explosion with 100,000 pounds of force, the metal just in front of the explosion will move forward with 100,000 pounds of force, minus whatever part of the explosion that doesn't push the rocket up. If you stand on top of a powerful explosion, you could go to space, but really don't do that. It's super dangerous. That's why there are rocket scientists. But hopefully with these questions, maybe someday you could become a rocket scientist or learn more about rocket scientists. Until then, we have an activity here for you to do with your friends. So gather yourself and at least 3 friends to chat. The topic: decide where humanity should adventure to if we could only explore one more place. What or where does your group think humans should focus on exploring next? Why? It's okay if deciding means arguing to agreement. The goal is to see if you could communicate with your friends to decide, 1, where should humans explore next? And then why? And if you really get into that activity, I'd add a 3rd. How are we going to do it? So thank you for getting curious with me again today on rockets, going to the moon, and what if. Stay curious.